Full disclosure, news and commentary number 30. I see we're at 15 seconds, which means it lasted longer than last week's video. Oh, fuck me with a broomstick. What am I watching? People keep fucking asking me, and sometimes I remember, sometimes I don't. So I'm going to get that out of the way quickly. The Hudsucker Proxy. What the fuck is that, Steve? Said the young person that doesn't know anything. You should watch that shit. Because just like me, it's, for kids. You have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about right now. Fuck you. I'm in a fucking mood, which is crazy because so many things in life and in wrestling, frankly, are going really well. I'm in a fucking mood. Could it be because I wasn't able to do Tipping Point last night? Perhaps. I'm going to listen to it. Matt Griffin filled in for me. Many thanks to him. It's fucking awesome. I also got Rob Rod on deck. I can't wait to listen. And that's the truth. I'm going to listen to it tomorrow night. I do know that the fallout from that was not the best for Jeremy Vane. I'm probably going to talk about that a little bit today and more once I listen to the show. Yeah, I'm in a good little routine. Workout shit's going awesome. Yeah, look at that fucking arm. Yeah, huge in Japan. Let's see. Logan, you fucking upgraded to the $5 so you could get the videos. Fucking love that shit. Josh, Southern Honor, Larry, not that one, the other one. Rob Rod, Brian, Double Dropkick, and Myron. Fucking thanks. Lots of shit to talk about. Lots of shit to rant about. What's the commentary? Look, I'm hitting all the beats, Elena. I'm hitting all of them. You notice I'm doing all the shit at the beginning I'm supposed to do. It's about magic. It's about preserving wrestling magic. It's about acknowledging magic. And it's about fucking hating the people that don't fucking acknowledge or encourage magic in wrestling. It's fucking lame as shit. It's fucking terrible. It's a terrible way to get you to listen to the end of this shit. By the way, on my... I fucking finally have an editing program, so on the off chance that this thing does click off, which it shouldn't because I've double fucking wrapped the mic cord so it doesn't... whatever the fuck. On the off chance that it doesn't... that it fucking work, I should be able to link the videos up. That's what I'm fucking saying. It's 5:30. I need to get moving on this shit because I got a workout to do. Unboxing. Fuck. You guys fucking rule. Fucking rule. Fucking rule. And to the chick who sent me the last two shirts. God, you're beautiful. All right, let's open this shit. Is it a glitter bomb? Is it what the fuck? I did, by the way, the person who sent the glitter bomb, who may or may not want me to mention who it was, I did open it, and it was funny, and yeah. Let's look at the note. Somebody pointed out that it's kind of rude that I don't look for a note first, that I just immediately go to the shirt. I'm like that dickhead who opens a present on his birthday and doesn't read the card. Fair enough. Oh, this is fucking cool as fuck. It's sent by, saying their name would be kind of pointless to most people listening to this. It was sent by somebody who I used to work with in the Colorado area a lot. A wrestling person who I used to work with in Colorado, who no longer lives in Colorado. That's enough to say about them. If they're cool with me saying their name and our history and all that shit, that's cool too. That's really fucking cool. And they said, I didn't see the shirt yet. They said the shirt reminded them of me. They said it's shit that I used to say in the car all the time. Would Would you like to know more? Yeah, Starship Troopers was real fucking hot at one point, and I used to make everybody watch that shit, and I loved it. I fucking love Starship Troopers. So, I don't know where they found this well, yeah, I do. What's the name of the fucking shirt company? $6 shirts, shit. Hell yeah, would you like to know more? Fuck, that's cool as fuck. Fucking hit me right in the feels, you could tell. Wrestling magic. Wrestling magic. Wrestling miracles. Really. Let's talk about it. Fuck, I'm going to start with Action. 200. So, Action, let me put a finite point on it. The fucking landscape has changed so much in the last 2 or 3 months that we have Action, which is now legitimately drawing as much as Southern Fried does on average. And keep in mind, it wasn't all that long ago that Action was doing sub 100 crowds, and now they can always count on a 200 crowd. Tank's show drew 300. And in different ways, shapes, or forms, these things are combinations of Matt Griffin, Dylan Hales, and Scott Hensley. So you had a weekend, and I haven't heard anybody else say it like this. I haven't even heard them say it like this. I'm going to fucking say it like this. It's 500 fucking people. The Tank name draws. What did we learn, and hopefully they learn? That their gimmick shows aren't shit. That they should just do straight up fucking wrestling shows. That using local people with names that are actual draws, Gunnar Miller in the past for SCI, or Tank, pays off. That simple promotion works. And that storylines matter. And that consistency is greatness. Action is being dubbed a Show of the Year candidate. And if they're saying Show of the Year candidate, I shouldn't put words into Rob Rod and Larry's mouth, but I'm going to do it. What they really mean is this is Show of the Year. Isn't that what they mean when they say this is a Show of the Year candidate? They don't want to say it because they have political considerations to worry about. That's my guess. But I do not. They're saying that Action's show, it was called For God's Sakes Kick Out, I think. And the fact that I remember that is amazing because you know how much I hate when everybody names every show. But that poster was really fucking great. By the way, I gave that poster fucking guy his start. That's neither here nor there. So Action does the Show of the Year. Tank's show draws 300 and is now going to be a thing that happens every year. By the way, is Tank's name and Tank in general having a good fucking month for a guy that doesn't fucking really do this shit anymore? What does that tell you? Authenticity. Authenticity and magic. The only thing that makes wrestling any good. Side note rant. So AEW's been kicking the shit out of NXT. Paint it any way you want. They've been kicking the shit out of them. And SmackDown on Fox Sports 1 fucking tanked. The opposite. Tank show? Tanked SmackDown on Fox Sports 1. Drew less than AEW. Let that sink in. Here's the mistake that the WWE made in the first place. They acknowledged AEW. Making that move, and I haven't heard anybody else say it like this, but that's what you fucking tune into me for in part, right? So I'm going to say this shit. The second the WWE acknowledged AEW by doing that pussy move of putting fucking NXT up against them, going, we're just going to beat them because we're the WWE, and now they're getting the shit kicked out of them every week, and they're forced to humble themselves. When's the last time the WWE had to fucking humble themselves before another wrestling group? They acknowledged AEW, mistake number one. They went up against them with a half-ass way of doing it, mistake number two. Oh my God! Remember when Anna Nicole Smith was fucking hot and shit? Hudsucker Proxy, motherfuckers. Jennifer Jason Leigh looked awesome too. Tim Robbins is fucking amazing. Anyway, mistake number 2. And then they had the nerve to lose. And people can say NXT's really good now. And I'll say this, that fucking turn by what's his balls with that fucking kick and the fucking thing, beautifully played, but nobody's watching, so who fucking cares? WWE's making the big mistakes. And now AEW can claim a victory, though they haven't trumpeted it. Because you know what? AEW is reaching the point where they don't have to trumpet their victories. That used to be the WWE. Now AEW is in a position where they can show, not tell. WWE, get your shit together. They don't know fucking shit from Shinola right now. They don't know who their fucking heels are, who their faces are. They don't understand that nobody wanted to see Seth Rollins, supposedly their top babyface, burn down the Firefly Funhouse. That everybody loved that shit. And Bray Wyatt's still the fucking heel. God, they're fucking lost. But Action isn't lost, right? Tank Show isn't fucking lost. And not so quietly, Action and Matt Griffin are a clear number 2. I just said it. Can you deny it after this last weekend? And I know a lot of people are going to be pissed off, and probably good friends of mine who are in Georgia wrestling are going to be like, Steve, fucking shit, man, you're overstating. I ain't overstating shit, and that light is green. I'm fucking right. And shit, it already feels like the fucking commentary, and we haven't even gotten through the news fucking part yet. But I gotta speak when I feel it, and I'm feeling it. And I'm, quite frankly, I'm glad. You could tell my energy is up, and I'm fucking feeling blood coursing through my fucking veins at a rapid rate. This is the best pre-workout I've had in a minute. Because it's a revelation. Action is a study on how to not make mistakes in the long run or to learn from your mistakes, right? And let's be real. A lot of those SCI affiliated shows were shit, right? Or the Scott Hensley shows were shit. The fucking mixed tag thing was shit. And 6-man tags, nobody fucking cares, right? Let's be real, right? And that's the kind of shit that used to hurt Woody when Woody would do these sort of gimmicked up shows. Now, they were kind of cool and interesting for what they were, but again, they took their eye off the ball. If 2019 was about have and have-nots and promoters having to promote, and by the way, has Action and the Tank Show, did they do a great job promoting those shows? Abso-fucking-lutely. The fucking, how many clips have I seen of Matt Griffin getting attacked at different iterations of Action? And now I know that they and Black Label are fucking doing a show WrestleMania week. I know all of this about them because they throw it out there, and fucking kudos to them. And by the way, everybody's posters have gotten better. Anarchy's posters are better. Southern Fried led the charge with the fucking better posters. Action shit looks fucking great. What the fuck? We went from fucking shitbird posters, and they're still out there, by the way, a number of promotions. God, your fucking posters suck. But we're most interesting fucking time of posters that we've had in recent memory. And then PCW, by the way, let's skip ahead to a fucking news item I was going to cover later. PCW starting November fucking 1st, as in 2 motherfucking days, motherfucker. What? And that fucking invitation that looked like somebody, what's her fucking name? Oh, God, starts with an A. I'm sure she'll fucking tell me. Sorry, bitch. She had the intergender match for, like, Southern Violence, I think, or another promotion. Anyway, she said it best. She's like, this is like some fucking invitation you would get to, like, a fucking winter formal or something. Fucking brilliant. That's Matt Hankins. That's not me. Anybody who thinks that I'm doing all this shit because I'm fucking sharing it and stuff, it's not me. I have nothing to do with any of it. Fucking excited for PC fucking W. Of course I'm excited. They're calling it the remix. What's not to be fucking excited? It's a fucking great time in wrestling. Motherfuckers, PCW is back. You ain't excited about that shit? What the fuck? Anarchy drew 160. Anarchy drew 160. Welcome back. Welcome back to being a B plus show. It's great. I trust them too. I trust them. Southern Violence 147. A fucking insane show. They're doing the insane shit. And they've survived the fucking Chris Nelm shit. They cut themselves loose from that shit. And, you know, Georgia class, world class, whatever the fuck, can't, you know, they can't go into triple digits. They're not even close. In spite of the fucking some of the talent that they have. They can't get there. But fucking Southern Violence hitting their 150 mark, 150 mark, 150 mark, making money at the fucking brewery. Disruptor 45. Rob Rod was at that show. What's notable is how many shows Slim J is on that they weren't able to use Slim J, to me. Rob Rod was there. Tank show, we've already talked about. Jacob Ashworth at APW, Nightmare on Cherry Street, their big show. 156 drawn, and there's Jacob Ashworth. And he pussied out of Tipping Point. Disappointing. Jeremy Vane was on there. And then a number of people have messaged me about Jeremy Vane. Jeremy Vane, full disclosure, a lot of respect for him. I like him a lot. Was looking forward to talking to him, but fuck, my kid fucking was in this math fucking competition fucking thing, and I wanted to be there. Sorry. That shit comes up for me. I'm the jack of all trades, and I'm everywhere, and I work a shit ton of hours, and I do my fucking workouts, obviously, and all of that, but shit, sorry, kids are number one. Always have been. Always will be. So I'm sorry I didn't get to do that show. I'm glad Matt Griffin was on there. I think he'll have probably had an even kill approach to Jeremy Vane. But Jeremy Vane has been doing this sort of quiet campaign where he's willing to do a lot but not too much. And that seems to be Jacob Ashworth's thing. And I mean, if you've read I Wear the Black Hat, you haven't? You should. Are you a wrestling person? Go get it. I Wear the Black Hat. I'm not going to say the name of the fucking author. You can fucking do the research. You should be reading that guy's shit anyway. It's fucking great. Every article he's ever written about bands, every fucking book he's ever put out about pop culture in general, it's fucking brilliant. Go find it. I'll wait. Okay. The Angel of Death tournament drew less than 100 and had a lot of no-shows, and they had to move shit around. It's really fucking disappointing. Isn't there, and that was in Carrollton, isn't there going to be another deathmatch tournament in the fucking building at the Landmark? I'm more interested in that. The Angel of Death tourney, by the way, great name. Tons of changes, and the pictures I saw of everybody, including Cody McCulley, it was him without blood. You're going to give me a picture from a deathmatch tournament without blood? Can I get some backup from people who do deathmatch shit, like Tank and stuff? I mean, that's fucking dumb as fuck, right? That's fucking dumb. That's one thing about Georgia wrestling. We've had fucking War Games matches without fucking blood. What the? Fucking Angel of Death tournament, and I'm getting pictures without blood? What the? Moving on. I'm gonna do. I haven't done a Be Kind review in a long time. I'm gonna do one soon of Jeff G. Bailey's writings outside of wrestling, so I think it warrants it. But I'm gonna make reviews in general just a part of this thing now, because then I'll do them because these works deserve them. Here's my brief sum up. Gunnar Miller 60-minute Broadway. In the flow. That motherfucker's feeling it. And it's fucking great. The Ace show, great. The Tank show, great. The Lynch's show, great. The fuck? Gunnar Miller's feeling it too. That guy's got fucking charisma for days. You know, he rebuffed Gary on his show. People are fucking dealing with it. boy, the end of this year is shaping up way different than people thought it would. And motherfuckers, we're not at the end of October yet. We're almost there. Tomorrow's Halloween. Happy Halloween, motherfuckers! But Gunnar Miller's in the flow. Tapped Out show. Listen to it every week. That's my go running on Thursday show. Though I got to do Tipping Point too. Fuck, I'll figure that out. But that show's been great. Consistent, good. They know when to end it. Here's my question, though, about everybody else's shows. The All Elite Marks or whatever, where the fuck you at? Have you put out a show since the fucking Scene Nick one? Where the fuck is the Murder and Josh fucking show? Folks, this shit's not easy. Putting out constant content is not easy. Yeah? People are finding that out. And as much as people might get mad about me trumpeting Gunnar Miller all the time, or the Tapped Out guys, and I don't like them, or I don't want this, or da-da-da-da-da, or guys like Rob Rod or Larry, he makes too much out of their reports. Am I? They're fucking doing them. They're keeping all of us up to date, providing a fucking record of the shit going on. And it's important. Would Jacob Ashworth have been better served doing Tipping Point than not doing it? Yes. Recently on Facebook, Simon Sermon and I got into it just a little bit. Because Simon's thing was, hasn't Jacob suffered enough? And I could possibly get behind that notion. APW, my general comment on it is, can they use him? Yes. Was it a good idea to bring him back for their biggest show of the year? I'm not sure. Jeremy Vane did ask a good question, which is like, well, then how long is appropriate? And I felt a calling to help Jacob. That's my fucking guy. And Jeremy wrote this fucking long fucking thing out on Facebook that I thought was, for the most part, right on the money, right? Like, Jacob's not the smartest, and he did make a fucking mistake, and then he filled it up with 2 days of rage bullshit that was also bad, but I know that that's not who that guy is. I think even these wrestlers who are saying shit about him now have shook his hand and know that that's not who he really is necessarily, but nonetheless, I felt the calling. I'm going to help him, and I'm going to take the slings and arrows, basically. And that's all true. But I am amazed at who escaped notice. And I am amazed at the people that have managed to avoid the bullshit. And I am amazed that people leave me hanging out to dry. Oh, fuck, I said I wasn't going to do this to myself, but I'm going to do it because that's me. You fuckers leave me hanging out to dry all the time. You want me to say the thing, and sometimes message me directly saying, say the thing, Steve, say the thing, and you won't do it. Oh, the movie's over. Coens do great shit, folks. Hudsucker Proxy. And Sam Raimi wrote that shit? I didn't fucking know that. But now that yeah, Sam Raimi did co-write that. I can see it now. I forgot that the fucking button was a Frisbee. Great movie. Great movie. Fuck, guys. I feel better from doing this video. And I know why. Because I had a Satori. Matt Hankins put the little thing I talked about Satori in the beginning of that PCW promo video, which meant a lot to me. Satori are small enlightenments that you have throughout your life. It's a Jap thing. And those of you who fucking love anime and don't know what a Satori is, you probably should. And you probably do, at least in theory. It's kind of like you know what Sakura is, sort of. Just because it's mentioned a lot. Because it's Jap shit. I've just acknowledged the fact that people leave me hanging and won't publicly support because they don't want flies on them. And because I can get away with things in a certain way that other people can't. And it's always been that way. And it's been that way in wrestling forever. And I'm in a unique position in which to help and make things happen and clean shit up and point things out. But that doesn't mean people have to follow me or acknowledge me or even agree with me. I get that now. And I get that David Manders is a cop, and that alone is going to take certain people out of play. Because they're going to be, because either they want to show that they're supporting the police, or they're afraid of the power of the police, or whatever the fuck. I get that. And at the end of the day, it's true. Simon did point out something that is true. Nobody got physically hurt. And don't we need to get past shit at a certain point? Yes, yes, yes. All that's true. But sometimes people just get away with shit. And I think 2019 has been about a lot of the old guard, of a bunch of the bad habits and terrible things have caught up and gotten brought to the light. But I'll say this, I'm looking at these numbers for the shows, right? Angel of Death, less than 100. Nightmare on Cherry Street, 156. Tank Show drew 300, a little bit more. Action, 200. Anarchy, 160. Southern Violence, 147. Disruptor, 45. You know what's interesting about that? All those numbers are accurate. They're accurate. Saw pictures of all those shows. You know why they're accurate? This motherfucker right here. Admit it or don't admit it, it's absolutely fucking true. And if I can make that happen, then I know in the long run I can win. I know that I can force and affect change and spotlight things that should be spotlit and bring things to light that need to be. Now, what the effects of those things are debatable. Do the awards matter? This year, more than they have in a long time, maybe ever? Yes. You know why? In large part, I now acknowledge that power. And now my challenge is respecting it. And part of respecting it is just because you have a different opinion than I do doesn't mean that you're wrong. And I have to acknowledge that as well. Let's keep going. Folks, I'm going to go to a fucking wrestling show. What's the last wrestling show I went to live? May have been an Atomic show here in Florida where Rosemary was going to be there, so my kid wanted to see it. God, that was a long fucking time ago. WrestleMania in Orlando was a couple of years ago. I went to that. Have I gone to any like Shimmer shows at Ybor lately? No. But I'm going. November 9th. I'm going to ML fucking W. What the fuck? They're here in Orlando. They're at the Gilt nightclub, which recently got a huge renovation, I heard. So I'm excited to see the inside, because that place was kind of nice before, but now I heard it's really nice. November 9th, which is a Saturday. Kids are going to be, I think, with grandparents or some shit. So, fuck, I'm going. Why am I going? You'll see. I'll talk about it after. Maybe write a review of the show if I'm feeling spunky. But I'm excited to go. All right. Let's get to the commentary. Magic. Sometimes I figure shit out. Sometimes shit is told to me. Sometimes a combination of both. I don't report everything. I don't report every revelation I have in my mind. Just at first, I'll be honest about something, full disclosure. I wanted to get ahead of shit, and I wanted to be the guy that, like, Steve said this, and then it's going to be true. And in fact, I'm thinking of compiling my fucking videos and all the shit that I did where I can spike the football 5 million fucking times. I'm right about shit a lot, folks. A lot. Almost every fucking time. But it's not because I'm super smart, though I am. It's because I think about this shit a lot. I think about wrestling in Georgia a lot. And people can get mad that I'm in Florida. Remember when that was a critique? How dumb, by the way, are your fucking critiques, right? These are all people who are trying to dispel the magic of my shit starting. Right? They're just trying to dispel the magic. Oh, he's not in Georgia. So apparently if I fucking lived like 3 hours away in Valdosta or fucking some shit, then all of a sudden everything I'm saying makes way more sense. That makes no fucking sense, right? I fucking did the do in Georgia. No one can deny it at this point. And fucking, you know, the fact that PCW is starting again, independent of me, and it's called the PCW Remix, and people are fucking excited about it. And it's exactly the show that it's supposed to be with the size of crowd that it needs to be. And it's wrestling's better for it being there. And that Matt Hankins is just fucking killing it. And he's going to win Manager of the Year. And he absolutely fucking deserves it. And anybody who votes otherwise is just being spiteful or petty. It's wonderful. Yeah. But people try to dispel the magic right away, right? Oh, fucking Steve, he's just a loudmouth, and he certainly thinks a lot of himself, doesn't he? These are all shit I would hear about me indirectly from people who are higher-ups in Georgia wrestling and blah, 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 blah. And what the fuck does Steve know? And fuck him, and he's this bitter old fucking guy. Me and Gunnar Miller kind of catch the same kind of shit, right? But consistency, integrity, and doing the do. And now all the people who shit on Gunnar Miller because of what he said about Marco Stunt, now you got prominent people-ish in Georgia wrestling scene going, God, fuck, Gunnar Miller was right. And then Marco Stunt appears on television and he looks fucking ridiculous. And now Gunnar Miller is in the catbird seat. And good for him. Full disclosure, I like Gunnar Miller a lot. I wish I had a more active hand when he was booked in PCW. I think Matt Hankins did a great job. Obviously, Jeff G. Bailey did a great job and shit. I wish I could have really been a bigger hand in booking all of that shit. But I wasn't. I wish I could have worked with Logan Creed. I didn't get to. Shit happens. But yeah, Gunnar Miller's fucking doing his thing. And the funny thing is, you get the feeling that he doesn't really fucking love doing it. And he's still better at it than just about every fucking buddy else. And his thing is unique and it's very important in the scene. Just like the tapped out guys are fucking very important in the scene. Rob Rod. By the way, I'll just fucking say it. Who put the fucking crown on Rod Rob? Me. Who gave Rob Rod his fucking nickname? Me. And who uses Rob Rod's fucking nickname? Everybody! Instead of trying to squash my magic, people should have been trying to fucking preserve it and assist it. But guess what? I didn't fucking need most of your help. And the people whose help I did get, I appreciate, and it did help. Magic. Be honest with yourself. When you watch Raw, you don't feel magic. With AEW, you don't really feel magic, but there feels like the potential that there will be some. And that is enough for those people watching. NXT has magic when they do their once a season big shows that correlate with the WWE big shows. But what we found out is NXT by itself has no magic. Because a lot of their shit was based on they're hungry up and coming people. There's kind of an energy there and that's cool. But they're not ready for prime time. Something the WWE did for the first time in a long time, maybe ever, feels like it's not ready for prime time. And we secretly resent them, thinking all they have to do is slap a WWE sticker on it, and it's good enough for us to purchase. That's the backlash. And SmackDown going to Fox Sports 1. Why did it be Dave Meltzer and them? By the way, there's all this backlash against Dave Meltzer. That motherfucker's been putting out content for decades before most of you guys critiquing him were fucking born. And if not for him, how many wrestling stories would not have been broken? How many wrestlers died would not have gotten a proper acknowledgement? So everybody who says, fuck Dave Meltzer, go fuck yourself. Because just because Dave has slipped about a couple of things, and yeah, I think it's weird how he does the star rating shit and all the rest of it. And has he ever reported shit that ended up not being true and he's loath to backtrack on shit? Yes. Guess what? He's all of you. But consistency, hard work, and doing this damn thing and being way more connected with wrestling than those of you who are even doing wrestling could ever fucking be. That's the truth. And Dave is fucking magic. You say that name, Dave Meltzer, and you can say dirt sheet and you can throw all of those fucking negative labels on you want to take him down. His shit matters. And when him and Brian Alvarez fucking speak, his shit matters. It's like Jim Cornette. I can think Jim Cornette is a bitter fuck, but there's magic there with Jim Cornette. Wrestling is better for having them there than not having them there. And wrestling is better for having magic. If you want to know if something's magic, is wrestling clearly better for having them a part of it? Is your fucking standard. And guess what? Georgia wrestling, you're better for having me. Way better for having me. And Georgia wrestling history, which people can deride as tabloid, I will fucking embrace that label. Larry putting up fucking articles about the main stories going around, which often are tabloid, you're welcome, because the shit is interesting. The salacious and the spectacle go hand in hand with the story. Stories are better when they're salacious. And in Georgia wrestling now, because of social media and because of people like me and Gunner and the Tapped Out guys and Larry and Georgia wrestling history. By the way, what happened to all these other wrestling sites that were going to carry fucking Georgia wrestling stories and point shit out? I haven't acknowledged him forever, but I'll acknowledge him here. Rodney West, where the fuck is your fucking Georgia Indie Report shit? Magic. Here's the crazy thing. When people say magic, the implication is that it isn't work. Magic happens because of the work. Magic happens when you lay the foundation for the magic to take over. You have to be good at the wrestling shit before your match can catch fire and have a feeling of magic around it. You have to be good at cutting a promo before you can cut the magical promo. And if somebody like Jeff G. Bailey, for example, doesn't want to come back, it's because, and Jeff is going to get so mad that I'm saying this, but it's absolutely fucking true. It's because there's a part of him that feels like he can't conjure magic anymore. But that's not to say that he can't conjure magic elsewhere. It's a new time in Georgia wrestling. Look at the top three, right? Southern Honor did not exist more than a year ago, a little more than a year ago. Action wasn't shit a little more than a year ago. And now they're 1 and 2, battling for the top spot. And Southern Fried counts as the old guard, even though they were the upstarts not that long ago. And now they're just happy to put on a regular show. They survived. Now we're going to see if they can thrive. Lots of people are going to move on at the end of this year. I'll just say that. And it's up to everybody else to conjure the magic. But Anarchy drew as much as their last show as they did at their big show. And even they, if they were being honest, that there was a certain kind of magic that was lost with that promotion. And maybe they're getting that back, and that's exciting. And Peach State, which once had all the pepper and the magic, and everybody, including myself, was ready to just grind them into the dirt. But I have to admit something. Their next show is coming up, and there's signs of life. Magic. It's a great time to be in fucking Georgia wrestling. And just because the truth is that there's probably not really a boom period in wrestling happening right now, and we see it in the national scene, but something magical has occurred in 2019, which is that Georgia wrestling is not inexorably tied to the fate of national wrestling promotions. The magic of national wrestling a month ago is gone. That the NWA studio show, as good as it is, there's nothing about it that makes you want to watch it again and again and again and again and again. And Ring of Honor can pick up all the fucking shitty time slots and television stations around the country that they want, but people know that the magic is gone. Don't you? Nonetheless, Master and Machine, keep voting for those motherfuckers. I think you can still vote up to today. And get them that tag match with the Briscoes, because they are magic. And I want to see them succeed. Even if Ring of Honor is not magic. WWE is not magic. And AEW could be. And Impact getting Joey Ryan. I watched that segment with Joey Ryan. I'll say this. I'll watch the segment with Joey Ryan and see him in there with Ken Shamrock. And there's a story about Ken Shamrock and how he got me into pro wrestling. I'll tell that on Patreon. By the way, you should be on my Patreon and hearing all this good shit, because those videos get longer and longer and better and better. Here's the question. Wrestling fans don't get to make magic as much as they think they do. They just get to witness it and acknowledge it. But people who are in the wrestling business, how are you going to make magic today for yourself, for the companies that you work for? Go make magic. But magic before the X factors take over, before the magic carries you and lifts you up and transcends you. First, it requires discipline. First, it requires steady work produced over a long period of time that gives birth to the magic. So, sometimes creating magic isn't just a matter of you telling yourself that something is important, lying to yourself and saying, oh, I wrestle the same match in front of 40 people as I do in front of 4,000. If you do that, you're a fucking idiot. And it's one of the problems with pro wrestling is guys kill themselves. There was something called like the house show dive that was, you know, where you go over the top rope, but you do it in this sort of safe way where you'd sort of springboard over the top rope and they'd catch you. And then there's the fucking dive that you do at the big show. The fact that guys think that that's pussy and you should fucking go all out every show shows that people don't acknowledge the fact that there is times where magic should get invoked and times where it should not. That if you try to make everything special, then nothing is. Go make magic. Or get the fuck out of the way of those of us that do. This has been Full Disclosure.